Jason Nyantino.
On Agenda Kenya tonight, Engineer Abdullahi Sharawe, Commissioner, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, Honorable Ababu Namwamba, Member of Parliament, Budalangi, Charles Nyachai, Chairman, Commission on the Implementation of the Constitution, CIC, and last but not least, Chao Mwakio, Community Leader, Taita Taveta County. Many thanks for joining us. Welcome to Agenda Kenya this week. I am Jason Nyantino. Tonight on this program, we focus on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and its track record. Is it on course to deliver a free and fair general election? I've got fantastic audience members coming all the way from Bungoma County, Narok County, and of course, Nairobi County. Welcome aboard. Our first question is from Apopo Apopo, who is an environmental consultant.
The question goes to the Commissioner for the IEBC about what informed the IEBC the decision to announce the election date on Saturday. The principal said that the deadline for the announcement was, for their agreement was supposed to be on a Friday, so that by Saturday you have announced the date. Does it mean also that when the Speaker of the National Assembly decides that he has not announced the writ for the parliamentary seat of Kangema, that you'll again announce the date for by-election for Kangema?
Why couldn't you wait for the consultations to end? How did you know that the two principals have ceased to consult?
What prompted is first the court ruling. And the court was very clear that we had to go to two options. One is ask the two principals to dissolve the coalition in accordance with Section 6B of the National Accord Act. That was one option. The other option was to wait for the parliament to complete its term, which ends 14th of January next year. So we did, as a commission, write the two principals on February 8th to ask them, can they look and consult on option one? We followed. We did not get any response. The only response we got was through the public and the media, giving different opinion. Then we wrote another letter on 8th March, requested for the same, and there was nothing coming. So we moved and asked for appointments. We were given appointments, two of them separately, and we did get from the discussions we had that they don't have a common stand. I think prior to that, I think what is important is that the commission had a retreat in Mombasa between 22nd and 26th of February to discuss the same thing. Therefore, it's not like as if we were waiting for them only to come up. The commission had a vigorous internal, as a responsibility to prepare for the examination, for the elections. And therefore, actually, by that retreat, the commission had already assessed the options.
All right, thank you. Honorable Namwamba, do you think IEBC acted in law, within the law?
First of all, I think we need to appreciate that we are operating within a new constitutional dispensation. And within the new constitution, the election date is predetermined, and that is why the constitution makes it clear that elections will be held every second Tuesday of every August in the 5th year following the last general election. But the situation we are faced right now is what lawyers would call a situation sui generis. It is a situation of a peculiar kind. It's a special circumstance, in the sense that whereas the Constitution sets a definite date for elections, it also protects the term of the current parliament and the current government, which then took this matter to court because of controversy. And the court made a ruling providing two limbs. In the second limb, where the court says that election could be held upon expiry of the term of the current parliament,
Yes.
it hands the IEBC the express responsibility to name the date. Which of course,
Before the expiry or after the expiry of parliament?
the court grants the IEBC, and that is pretty constitutional, the prerogative. It's actually a prerogative. It's a prerogative power.
If you allow me, within,
Yes, just clarify that.
if you allow me, it gives the commission authority to determine the date within 60 days.
Okay. But what I want to understand
Yes.
from Honorable Babu is, does this freedom to decide that date come after the expiry of parliament or before?
I'm calling it a prerogative license, because that is what it is. Remember, never again after this election will anybody have the authority to tell us the election date. Never again. This is the last time ever that any authority in this country will ever announce the election date. The election date is now
according
determined.
to you, they follow the law.
This peculiar circumstance, which necessitated court action, allowed the judiciary to intervene as anticipated by the court, because the court does allow the judiciary to intervene.
All right.
And in that intervention, it grants the IEBC this one-off privilege,
All right.
the one-off privilege to set the date.
Thank you. Chow, what is your position in this?
I think I concur with the IEBC by giving us the date, because at 2013 March, the life of this parliament would have expired. Yes.
So, but there are those arguments, because the life of parliament ends on, I think, 14th of January.
Yeah. 14th January 2013. Yes.
So then, there are those who feel the election should have come much earlier than that.
No, I don't.
But Jason, isn't that the reason we went to court? We went to court because everybody, we had 40 million opinions. We had as many opinions as there are citizens of this country. And if we are not living in a jungle, if we are governed by the rule of law says when we have that state of uncertainty and anxiety, we go to one authority that the Constitution has granted the power and the authority to arbitrate, and that's the judiciary.
So as a member of parliament,
Yes.
Honorable Babu, you are for the March 2013 election.
I can tell you for certainty that I sat in Naivasha and participated robustly in writing this Constitution. And I was clear, as I am today, that election should be held in August. That is something that I am completely convinced that we can hold elections in August. But we have prevaricated and circumlocuted so much on this matter that even the possibility now of having an August election is
Honorable,
impossible.
Your English is very nice.
But
tell us, are you, before I go to Charles, are you for March or for December? That's when the Mwananchi
I would
wants
have
to know.
preferred
Hang on, Mheshimiwa. March or December?
Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. The people of Kenya want a December election.
Thank
I
you.
really wish.
Thank you for that. Now, Charles, is there a provision in law where IEBC has power to set an election date?
Yes. First of all, let me vary a little from what Mheshimiwa has said. I think if we're talking about what the people of Kenya wanted, the people of Kenya actually wanted an election in August, not even December. And you will recall, it's a matter of public record, that CIC's reading of the Constitution, and that remains our reading of the Constitution, is that that election should be held in August. But the important thing here is that we have a Constitution which tells us how we resolve issues, how we resolve disputes, how we interpret the Constitution. And it tells us that the final arbiter on any constitutional issue of interpretation that arises is the court. IEBC went to court on this matter. The court gave a ruling in January, and in either event of the two options that the court gave, whether it is the National Assembly serving its full term up to the 14th of January, or whether it is the principals agreeing in writing to dissolve the coalition government, in either event, following that event, it is IEBC which actually sets the election date. And I also want to say to my friend Apopo, the concern that he has. If today the principals were to agree in writing to dissolve the coalition government, in terms of the Constitution and the court ruling that was given in January, IEBC would have to change its date to bring it to accord with what the
decision shall have been.
Yeah. So I don't think really it is a legitimate argument that IEBC should have waited for the principles.
All right.
In fact, I dare say, I think IEBC would have given that date even the day after the court gave its ruling.
All right, thank you.
I think it is also important.
Before, let me take some more questions and you'll have time to respond. The gentleman at the back in a tie, striped shirt.
My name is Hesbon. The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs had a bill in Parliament which was touching on the election date and an issue on Chapter 4 about 2/3 of either gender in representative offices. Now, I don't think that the bill has been withdrawn from the floor of the House, which Mayor will maybe tell us, but the IEBC has gone ahead and announced the date. Now, what is the scenario here? The bill has not been withdrawn. The issue, the zone issue about the 2/3 majority has not been addressed, and we are going for elections.
That bill is still pretty much alive. If the minister, and I have heard rumors, unconfirmed rumors that the minister does intend to withdraw that bill. But as far as I know, the bill came to the House, it was committed to committee. The committee in which I sit, the Committee on Implementation of the Constitution, has been processing that bill. We held 23 public meetings, public hearings across the country. I remember chairing a public hearing in Bungoma with over almost 300 Kenyans giving their views on this matter. And so this matter will certainly have to come to the House for deliberation. And in fact, it's a fundamental point that needs to be noted here, that if Parliament wishes to set this record straight and clear all these doubts, then Parliament should pass that bill. And in fact, I want to challenge the Minister for Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Mutula Kilonzo. Bring that bill to the House like yesterday and rally Parliament to pass that bill and set the election date for the 3rd Monday of December and just settle this matter. That's the best way to really end this debate. But in the absence of that legislative action, really, we have to look to the IEBC to provide guidance here.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, clarify. As you respond.
Mheshimiwa,
yes.
I agree with what Mheshimiwa is saying, that Parliament can change that date by constitutional amendment. Where I don't agree is that would be a clarification of the legal position, because there is no lack of clarity in the legal position. I mean, Parliament can make a political decision, whether it's on behalf of the people of Kenya or it is in the interests of parliamentarians, but they can make that political decision to muster 2/3 majority to amend the Constitution. And that would change the date. But even if they don't, to my mind, there is absolutely no lack of clarity in terms of the legal position that what IEBC...
The clarity is actually about the public debate. Okay. The public debate and uncertainties.
Thank you for that. It's time for a break now, but we'll be right back. Don't go away.